Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Sean Roush. Long time since I last posted, but we're gonna do some fantasy football content. Yeah, so if you need some advice, let's get it popping. We're just gonna go right into this. We're gonna do a 12-team PPR from the number one spot. We got one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, one tight end, one flex, one kicker, one defense, and 6 bench spots. Let's get it rolling. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's do it. All right, so from the number one spot, got some options here. Jamar Chase is someone who I think could have a lot of potential this year. I think AFC is really tough, competitive. That's an option for me. Not really digging Bijan. I think people were really onto him the last 2 seasons, but he hasn't done anything like 101 overall potential. CeeDee Lamb obviously could be interesting with the PPR. Jay Jettis, I think the Vikings could low-key be a sleeper this year. Obviously you got to see what happens with J.J. McCarthy and if he's like the real deal. But out of those guys, I'm kind of thinking of either Chase or Lamb. The Lions were really good last year, so I think Gibbs has to pull back a little bit. And then Saquon is just a machine. I think he's like the real safe option. So I really think you can't go wrong with Chase, Lamb, or Saquon. I think I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I'm just going to start off strong with a wide receiver. I just want that real reliable pick, and then now I'm hoping for a good running back to fall. Okay. So, next. All right. We're up again at the turn. We got Derrick Henry. He's just automatic. I don't care how old he is. They're always going to hand him the rock. When you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback, it's like you got one thing to worry about, and now you got to worry about this tall-ass guy. Like, come on, man. He's solid. He's consistent. And, just because we're taking a wide receiver first doesn't mean we have to do a running back either, but, I'm not drafting T. Higgins in the second round. Rashee Rice, he's an animal. He's going to do great. I just don't know about the suspension, so I'm kind of just fading him. Not really trying to draft guys that won't play the first couple of games because you need wins the first couple of games. You're not trying to be that person that's like coming back from behind. Bucky Irving, he did great last year, but, on a temper expectations. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, I'm biased. I'm a Colts fan, but... I have no idea how that offense is going to look. Anthony Richardson's hurt coming into the season. Daniel Jones. I think I'd rather just take the risk with Derrick Henry, just getting those goal line touches. To me, it's kind of Henry right now or Jacobs. And, I'm kind of leaning Henry just because I really like the Packers supporting core. Their other running backs, so I'm just going to go with Henry and call it a day, and we'll be up next. So now we got round 3. Okay, so we could be looking at running backs. Like I said, Josh Jacobs. Breece Hall could be intriguing, but I just the Jets are the Jets. They're always going to jet. Mike Evans, I love. He's always solid, consistent. Terry McLaurin had a great year last year. I think they're going to take a step up. The Commanders, I just don't know if Debo is going to take away some of that love, yeah, just looking at the other running backs coming up and later, I feel like I could still get value. You know, this is a coin flip on whether or not you actually want to take Josh Jacobs or just a wide receiver. I think I'm just going to go with one of the more comfortable wide receivers in Mike Evans and call it a day. If it lets me draft him. There you go. All right, round 4 coming up. Looking at the running backs, who do I like? Connor, they got the other guy coming in. He's going to be solid and start out. He's always safe. And, you know, just like with the Cardinals, I feel like, you know, are they going to get Marvin Harrison the ball this year? I don't know, honestly. I'm not taking that risk, I don't think, this year. Kyler's just not doing it over and over and over. But that being said, I think James Conner is going to be a solid piece. It's just, am I going to take him in the 4th round? I don't think so. I'm not looking at any running backs. I'd rather just see who falls. Wide receivers wise, you know, DK Metcalf's pretty intriguing. Aaron Rodgers is coming in there. Yes, he's a diva. But DK Metcalf is just going to do his thing. He's just a big body, big guy. Now, I think the Eagles are going to regress. So like Devonta Smith, I'm kind of looking at, but Zay Flowers, I think, could be a real stud this year. I think the Ravens are on a mission, and I think that's the guy that I'm going to go after right now. And we're back up on the clock again. I'm not really loving going after tight ends early. I think every year I draft one, and then there's always so many guys on the waiver wire that I could just pick up later. So I'm going to wait off that right now. Quarterbacks, I'm going to wait off as well. I like waiting late. There's just plenty of talent in the later rounds. You know, if it's the real right value and you're like, hey, I'm going to go up and grab this guy, do it. I just know I'll rather play mine off of matchups and just stack up my wide receivers and our running backs to just prevent the other teams from having them. So we already got 3 solid wide receivers. Is it the time to take the risk is the question. Yeah, we're going to take the risk. It's going to be one of the 3 guys up there. And oh, man. Yeah, I really think it is going to be Marvin. It's going to be Marvin or DK. I'm just trying to decide right now. I love Chris Olave and Jalen Waddle. They just scare me with, you know, Olave with the injuries and the quarterback play. Waddle with the injuries and the quarterback play. Waddle's awesome if Tua is healthy, but come on. It's like 18-game season. 18-week regular season. It's like Tua is not going to stay healthy. That's just my opinion, and I'm not taking the risk on that. Someone else can. If they do good, great, but I will get someone else good. Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf. It's you want Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of on him, honestly. I think the safer pick is DK Metcalf. I think a lot of people lose their drafts in these rounds when they reach out for players, and I think DK Metcalf's a safer pick. I think he's going to get his. So I'm going to draft DK Metcalf. All right. Now, let's see. So now it's round 6. So we got some guys that fell to us. Omarion. Oh shit, was it? Oh, Marion Hampton. Yeah, he's a rookie. He's gonna get some touches. I know Najee Harris is there, so it's like, how is this guy gonna do? Is he gonna get a lot of touches? I'd rather just go with Aaron Jones, man. I think, like I said earlier, the Vikings are gonna do good. This is J.J. McCarthy's like first action. Like, who's he gonna go to? Tight ends? Yeah, he got Hawk, right? He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. He has Jordan Addison, but he also has a running back who is not only gonna get a lot of carries, he's gonna get some catches. So, yeah, I think that pick, just him falling there, that's great value. And if you think about it, if I took James Conner in the fourth, that's like the same to me as Aaron Jones right now. So I'm taking Aaron Jones. And then now we're up with another pick. We could load up on running back. I like the Pittsburgh running backs a lot. Pacheco, I think, is always solid in Kansas City. So I actually really do like the running backs around here. And I would rather take another running back right now because I know these wide receivers coming up. I think it's a pick, like who's going to do good, whatever. Cooper Kupp, it is just staring me down. He's probably going to be a good pick this season. Darnold was slinging in last season. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be anything similar, but I think Cooper Kupp is just going to, be a magnet to the football. But with that being said, I just want to get a good running back before they're gone. So yeah, I think I am going to take Pacheco. I don't care if Omarion Hampton's up there. Najee Harris is in the vicinity too. I don't care. So Pacheco, welcome to the squad again, buddy. Let's see who's getting taken. Names flying off the board. And look, Cooper Kupp's there. Great. Najee Harris is there also. He could be, a bell cow. I think they're going to be better. I think McConkey's a dog. So, it's like, do I think Pacheco is going to be solid? If my third running back is solid, then it's like, all right, I could wait on another running back later. But if my third running back is like iffy, then it's like you got to try to pull the trigger on another running back. But we're solid up in here. I don't care. I'm not wasting a high pick on Najee Harris when I can get a game changer like Cooper Kupp. Michael Pittman's a dog. I think he's awesome, but it's just Indy's having a tough time getting the ball. Cooper Kupp's the real deal, and honestly, I don't even care if he gets hurt and I don't use him. I already got 4 wide receivers here, so I feel like I'd rather just take the risk on Kupp and call it a day. I know Jaden Reed is a playmaker too. I just know there's a lot of heads going on in Green Bay. And I feel like some games you just never know who's going to get the rock, and I'd rather just have the sure thing with Cooper Kupp. So, give me him now. Okay, and we're up again. Wow. That's how drafts kind of work. But, yeah. So, Kelsey being here is, like, puzzling a little bit, but I'm just going to tell you guys one thing. A, if you're in my league, start the trade because no one does. But B, the Chiefs, when they're like approaching the playoffs, they like to rest their players before. And they really do that with Kelsey. Like if you go back in the years and you look, weeks 15, 16, 17, fantasy football playoffs, championships, he doesn't really like do good. He could, but he doesn't really get like a lot of volume and usage. So I'm just saying I'm not really trying to like draft him and then hope to trade him. I'm not doing that. Yeah, he's going to do better than all these other tight ends, but, I need more value. I really need pieces, right? Because if you get pieces and they're good in the positions that people don't have, then they're going to want to trade you for that. And you can kind of base that off of, all right, how's the remaining schedule? Do I think this guy's overvalued or undervalued? We already got 5 good wide receivers. There's some nice quarterbacks still here. Me personally, I'm looking at Caleb Williams or Justin Herbert. I think I'm leaning more Herbert, but I'm just one of those two, right? One of those two. If we're looking here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 quarterbacks are taken. If someone wants to take a second quarterback, they can. They could do that. That's stupid. That's going to hurt their team, and they're not going to win. If there's someone like that in your league, yeah, they might have screwed you, but you have a 1 in 11 chance at winning, not a 1 in 12. So I'm going to wait on quarterback still. And, if you're looking at Pittman or Reed, who has the better chance to break out, it's Reed. It is him. I like Mooney this year. I don't like Ayuk because I'm very a big guy that's like, if you're becoming a number 1 wide receiver, since the other guy's gone, Debo, I don't really know how you're going to do. So I'm just going to take Jaden Reed and move on. Let's get it. And yeah, don't draft defenses and kickers. Draft people in training camp that you think their value could increase or decrease, and just drop them, the day before opening night or whenever the first Sunday is. Okay, so Caleb Williams, Herbert, still there. We got Mark Andrews. I'm not doing that. I don't care. I will. Who are the tight ends like? Who are we looking at? I'm not looking at Kincaid. I think he was great value his first year and his second year. Second year? Yeah. But, I'm not really looking at him. I will just wait and wait and wait. If the Cowboys make a jump, Jake Ferguson could be that guy this season, but I'm still not. I'm waiting. I don't care. I'm waiting. Tyler Warren could be great, but not really obsessed. I mean, dude, Andrews, Kraft, Ferguson, those 3, but I don't want to take them. I want to keep waiting. I don't care. Running backs, right? Who's intriguing? Ray Davis, right? He's right behind James Cook. Bills, explosive team. He is honestly the only guy coming up here that I'm interested in. I'm a big Roshan guy. And, if anything happened to Kyron, Blake Corum stepping in, and he's going to do his thing. And yeah, just looking at these wide receivers, I'm not really in love with any of them. So, in my mind, it's pretty clear I'm going to draft Ray Davis. And then we got one more bench spot with tight end options still there. And yeah, this is a mock where it's not a big bench. I assume the benches are going to be bigger. I assume, there might be another wide receiver, flex spot, whatever. But, one of these guys down here are going to break out, and you just got to jump on it. That's how I like to play fantasy. You got to be a waiver wire king, and you just got to go after it. Yeah, these running backs, yeah. Grindo, yeah, he could be awesome, but Mason's there too. And it's if McCaffrey goes down, Mason's going to be that guy. So, I'm not really loving any of these wide receivers at all. There's no point. So it's either right now, in my eyes, tight end or quarterback. And I'm going to go with the quarterback, honestly, because just tight end, I like to wait, like I said. So we're just going to take Justin Herbert. I think we would wait even longer if there's a bigger bench, but we are not going to. So now we see some tight ends going off the board a lot, right? So this is my first mock draft of the year, but, if I'm doing this again, it's I might take a tight end next time because, look, Caleb Williams is still there. So, yeah. All right, now we're going to take... Oh, we did have another bench. How about that? Oh, yeah, I said no. I think Dobbs is kind of a sneaky option. That's just a me thing, though, so don't listen to me in this case. But I'd rather take the risk on Roshan or Blake Corum. But we got to look at these other tight ends and see who we like. Hunter Henry, solid. Every year no one drafts him, and then all of a sudden it's like, do we start him or not? He just does that consistently. Loveland's there. Yeah, he's going to be a receiving tight end. He's a rookie. They're getting better. The Bears are getting better, but I'm just going to go with Henry. And I have the next pick too, so I just got to choose one of those running backs, so it doesn't really know what order. Who's more likely to play? I love Roshan, but realistically, 3 heads right there. It's just Corum and Kyron, so I'm just going to take Corum. And I love Lloyd too, but it's just Jacobs will always get carries no matter what. And then now it's defense and kicker. So we scroll down to defense and kicker, and then we scroll right back up because we're not doing that. We're trying to win leagues. We're not trying to lose some. So, kicker, honestly, if you're that guy that wants to take a kicker and you're like so gung-ho, do it. Personally, that wouldn't be me. But, I like Kendre Miller. He had a lot of injury problems last year. Kind of unfortunate. And the coach just didn't like him for some reason. So I'm looking at him or a wide receiver. I just want to check to see how many wide receivers I have. 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 guys that I love. And if there's a seventh guy that breaks out, I'll pick him up on the waiver wire. So I just want to see how the running backs do. I want to have them on my team. I want to take some risks right here, and then I'll drop their ass if I want. So we're going to take Kendre Miller, and then, I could stack up on the New Orleans, but I just like Kendre Miller, so whatever. Don't forget about handcuffs either. Kind of forgot about them, but I kind of like how I draft. I could use a handcuff right here. So anyone behind Pacheco, Aaron Jones, or Derrick Henry, pretty much. But yeah, Keaton Mitchell. I think he's the second string. And yeah, I don't really care about these other guys, so we're just gonna go with Keaton Mitchell. And then boom, this colorful display comes up, and just ignore that every time you do it, because that sucks. But yeah, so that's the first mock. I really like the team, obviously. I think I spread it around even well. Got some solid guys, took some risks. Waiting on a quarterback, waiting on a tight end, hammering the running backs, wide receivers, getting solid guys, and then risks. There's a lot of guys I cross off every year that I'm just do not draft, and some of them do break out, but every year I'm always in the playoffs. I always get up there, and you really need to be smart with all of your picks, because you need to know when to take risks, and they cannot be stupid ones. But I'm happy I made the pick for DK over Marvin Harrison, and I'm happy I still got some good running back value in Pacheco, Henry, and Jones. So I think this draft went exactly how I wanted. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you want to see any more mocks, just comment your league settings. I do PPR and standard, but no one does standard anymore. So do you like PPR? Tell me how many people are in the league, and then what spot you only draft out of. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned.